the country of heritage, the country of activities, and the country with a vision of the future, Qatar. Welcome to Qatar. I am happy to show you around.
Hanadi will take us to the most beautiful places in her country. She will explore the brief but impressive history, participate in various extraordinary activities, and introduce you to the rich culture. She will also see Qatar's sporting side, go shopping in the world's largest shopping centres, and introduce us to her country's hospitality.
Qatar has seen incredible growth not only in the past 10 years, but also over the many decades. The exhibition I am visiting today is a showcase of Qatar's history.
While today Qatar is a prosperous country with 2 million residents, 70 years ago it was a very different story. The country was a relatively unpopulated place until the 1940s. While its primary source of income was from pearl fishing, that all changed in 1939 when oil was first discovered. At that time, Qatar was still a protectorate of the UK. But it gained independence in 1971. The Al Thani family has since led the country towards better education, healthcare, and prosperity. It is impressive to see how, in just a few decades, the country has transformed from a colony to a modern, independent country, and how both early modern and ongoing history is being showcased in Qatar. To find out more about Qatar's history, Hanadi visits the Museum of Islamic Art, one of the city's most striking buildings. It was designed by the famous Chinese-American architect I.M. Pei. The immense 45,000 square meter area showcases Islamic art, spanning 1,400 years from 3 continents. The museum has a sizable collection of Islamic relics, ranging from Iranian manuscripts to Spanish ceramics, from pottery to weaponry, and from jewelry to textiles. All aspects of life in ancient Islamic civilizations are showcased here in impeccable condition. There are many more museums in Doha worth visiting, such as the Arab Museum of Modern Art, where you can admire the work of modern Arab artists. Or the Sheikh Faisal bin Qasim Al Thani Museum, which houses a large collection of Islamic art, classic cars, paper currency, fossils, and manuscripts. The National Museum of Qatar will officially open soon. It'll represent the past, present, and future of Qatar. It is also worth taking a look around the many art galleries in Souq Waqif and Qatar Cultural Village. Hanadi leaves Doha and drives some 100 kilometers to the north to see a unique piece of Qatari history, Zabara Fort, which lies in the Arabic archaeological site Zabara City. Today, the Zabara Fort serves as a museum. Here you'll find various archaeological relics from this former city. The old city walls are still visible outside. The location has been designated a World Heritage Site by UNESCO. If you stroll along the streets in Doha, you can see public art everywhere.
Look, I really like this. You can find lots of public art like this all over the city.
Qataris see culture as the essence of their country, which is why cultural preservation and showcasing has become so important. Of course, that applies not just to art, music and dress, but also to traditions such as these camel races, which are still organized on a weekly basis here in Al Shahaniya. Hanadi drops in on another popular Qatari tradition, horse racing. The atmosphere is electric during the races. The fans enthusiastically support their favorites and the excitement is contagious. During the winter months, horse races take place every week at the Racing and Equestrian Club. Horse racing is a combination of sport and entertainment, and is an important part of the Qatar experience. Many traditions and crafts can also be found at Souk Waqif, a place where there's always a wonderful aroma of herbs and spices. Located in the heart of Doha, Souk Waqif is more than 100 years old. In the olden days, Bedouins came here every week to sell their goods. These days, it is like traveling back in time. You will find passionate market vendors in the quaint, narrow streets offering all kinds of goods for sale. This is also a great place to get acquainted with Qatari cuisine and traditional dishes. Up next, Qatar Cultural Village. It is an extraordinary place to visit. In a traditional ambience, you can experience culture from all over the world. Whether it's music, film or theatre that you love, the Qatar Cultural Village has it all. From the latest art exhibition to the most renowned opera, this is the place to see the best performances and shows in Qatar. Qatar Cultural Village has a varied and constantly changing cultural program. No 2 weeks are the same.
Hamad International Airport is rapidly expanding, and soon it will host no less than 50 million passengers a year.
In the past, the majority of tourists were business travelers. But in recent years, the number of tourists has also increased at a fast rate. These tourists receive an excellent service. For example, you will find many fine restaurants, some run by award-winning chefs. Along with the many international dining options, there are many restaurants that serve local cuisine too. Looking for eclectic cuisine? Qatar has a lot on offer, thanks to the diversity of people who live here. In addition, the amount of accommodation has also vastly increased in recent years. Here you will find a large offer of hotels, from 3-star hotels to 5-star hotels.
If you're in Doha, it's a good idea to check the Qatar Events Diary at onqatar.qa to see what's on. There's always something to do here.
Doha plays host to concerts, theatre shows and sports events throughout the year. Family-friendly fun is easy to find in Qatar. Since the sun shines almost every day of the year in Qatar, you can also do lots of outdoor activities. from walks along the Corniche to various water sports. Golfing and desert safaris are also very popular here. One of Doha's most popular spots is the Corniche, an 8-kilometer-long promenade and a popular destination for jogging, cycling, rollerblading, or simply for a stroll. The Corniche is just 10 minutes away from wherever you are in Doha and is a lovely place to escape the bustle of the city. Doha was once a pearl fishing village. To experience a little of that nostalgia, Hanadi takes a trip on a traditional dhow. These traditional Arab wooden boats are still made by hand to this day. In the past, dhows were used to transport goods, but these days, they are mainly used as a means for tourists to enjoy the coastline. It is a stunning contrast, such a traditional boat with a view of the ultra-modern skyscrapers. Hanadi continues to the north side of Doha, home to a new neighborhood called The Pearl, which is constructed on reclaimed land. The Pearl is extremely pedestrian-friendly and has the world's longest waterfront luxury retail walkway. Around the marina, you can stroll along the 3.5-kilometer marina broadwalk La Croisette. The Pearl is one of the grandest and most ambitious projects Qatar has ever undertaken. When the project is fully completed, the Pearl will create more than 32 kilometers of new coastline. It is the first land in Qatar to be available for freehold ownership by foreign nationals. The boardwalk is surrounded by luxury hotels, villas, restaurants, and some of the world's best-known luxury brands. Hanadi loves strolling through the plazas and along the water, and so it's a great place for her. In just a few years, the Pearl Qatar has become the most glamorous location in Doha. It is a must-see. Hanadi decides to visit one of Qatar's most popular events, the International Falcon and Hunting Festival. Falconry was practiced here in ancient times. At that time, birds of prey were used mainly for hunting. Falcons and eagles were efficient ways to catch meat. These days, it is a very popular sport. It is wonderful to see how these young boys handled such large birds of prey. And then it's Hanadi's turn.
Oh, wow. You can see it on the map. Qatar is a desert country that borders the sea. Two very different elements interacting together to create a majestic landscape.
This setting gives the country two faces. The wonderful beaches and the Mediterranean atmosphere in Doha, surrounded by a desert landscape. But what maps don't show you are the hidden gems of the Qatari landscape. Not many people, for example, will expect to find themselves canoeing through a mangrove forest. Hanadi's Entalek guide is very knowledgeable about the area. The mangrove forests provide shelter to a treasure trove of wildlife, especially birds, fish and shrimp. There are 16 clusters of mangrove forests along the coastline. And Hanadi is also lucky enough to encounter the most colorful inhabitants of the mangroves, flamingos. Qatar might be a desert country, but that doesn't mean there is any less to discover. Hanadi visits Khor al-Adaid, otherwise known as the Inland Sea. Luckily, she is also accompanied by an experienced driver, because navigating through the desert is no easy task. Due to the winds, the landscape changes constantly. The results are breathtaking views, and with a bit of luck, some wildlife. After a spectacular drive, Hanadi and her guide reach the beautiful inland sea, the only place in the world where the ocean makes its way into the desert. Hanadi finishes up this excellent day at the campsite, which is a truly extraordinary place to spend the night.
Qataris are real sport enthusiasts, and you can see that not only in the country's love of football, but also in the number of sport tournaments Qatar organizes every year.
Naturally, all eyes are currently focused on the 2022 FIFA World Cup, and many stadiums and facilities are under construction. But almost every other type of summer sport is on the agenda as well. Prestigious athletics, volleyball, and tennis events are all held here. Hanadi pays a visit to the Doha Golf Club. She's invited to take to the course with professional golfer Peter.
Peter, yalla.
This 18-hole championship course with its lakes is truly breathtaking. For less experienced players, there's also an academy course and a driving range. An incredible course, the Arabia-inspired clubhouse, and its unique location all make the Doha Golf Club a great stop for every golfer. Even if you don't play golf, the Spikes Lounge or the members-only Oasis Lounge are perfect settings to grab a bite to eat or socialize. In Qatar, when you mention sport, you can only be talking about the Aspire Zone. So it goes without saying that Hanadi has to take a look for herself. As soon as you enter the Aspire Zone, you notice the vast amount of greenery. Many Qataris come here to walk, to have a picnic, or to work out. The Aspire Zone was put on the map by the 2006 Doha Asian Games. In this enormous sports complex, you will find state-of-the-art sports facilities for both top athletes and upcoming talent. In addition to a number of the world's most beautiful sports stadiums, it also has high-tech medical facilities. A great deal of attention was paid to research and education. Qatar's Aspire Zone is a unique sport, medical and educational destination for the international sports industry.
If you love shopping, then Doha is the place to be. You can spend the whole day going from one shop to the other.
Doha is a perilous city for shopaholics like Hanadi. Each shopping center has its own unique atmosphere and products on offer. Alongside the major brands and beautiful shops, you will find hospitality and entertainment everywhere. Hanadi does some shopping at the Laguna Mall, the newest shopping center in Doha. The center offers more than 128,000 square meters of shops and places to eat, and is famous for its luxury and exclusivity. The selection of major brands is huge. There are also plenty of places where you can take a break from shopping and grab a tasty bite to eat.
This is really good.
Laguna Mall has 160 outlets which have a great deal to offer to even the most fanatical of shoppers and food lovers. The name Landmark Mall is fitting because the centre's architecture was designed to resemble a typical Qatari castle. The centre's design is spacious and light, which makes it a pleasant location to spend time. At almost 60,000 square meters, the shopping area boasts leading global brands, a food court, and an entertainment area. There's even an amusement park for kids called Circus Land. Villaggio Mall is next to the Aspire Zone, and is considered by many to be the most spectacular shopping centre in Doha. The centre offers a wide variety of shopping brands. Villaggio Mall is a family favourite where you can shop, eat or enjoy the live entertainment surrounded by an Italian ambience. Villaggio offers an authentic Italian experience in the heart of Qatar. Doha is home to shopping centres of all shapes and sizes, but the biggest of all is in the West Bay neighbourhood, the City Centre Mall, one not to be missed. This centre has more than 330 shops. Spread across 5 floors, you will discover a vast range from luxury boutiques to local crafts. If you need some rest from such intense shopping, you can take a break at one of the cafes or restaurants. Hanadi also takes a look at the tons of entertainment on offer. The centre features a large cinema, a bowling alley and a video arcade for the kids. And while the temperature outside exceeds 30 degrees inside, you can have fun ice skating. How cool is that? The City Centre Mall is centrally located, just 10 minutes from the airport, and it's a great place to hang out with the family. As you can see, Qatar has plenty to offer its guests. And as the country grows, there are more and more tourists coming. People who enjoy the mix of culture, heritage, modernity and adventure.
Okay guys, this is it. I hope you enjoyed watching. Don't forget to go out and experience some of these adventures for yourself. Ma salama.